One of the biggest reasons that children nowadays are struggling with anxiety so much is because of a lack of self-confidence. In this video, you'll learn 3 vital elements for how to develop self-confidence in your children. I recently saw a television program about a group of teenage children who were all athletes, and they were competing for some title of being the best athlete or something. And they had all of these different sports that they needed to try with each other. And each of them excelled in one sport in particular. Well, some of the children who were on the program, they were fearless. They would try anything, no matter what. Someone might say to them, well, you could get hurt in this way or this way, but this is what you do not to get hurt. And they'd say, okay, fine, no problem. Here I go. And they would just jump in and try and adapt to a sport that maybe they'd never even tried before. Then there were other children in the group who maybe weren't as fearless, but if you explained it to them, they decided to take the brave step and just adapt the best they could. Maybe they knew they'd never be the best one, but they were going to participate nonetheless. But there was one athlete who was different than all the rest. She would break down. She did say that she had anxiety. I don't know the level or how it came to be. I don't presume to know any of those things. But what I saw was a definite lack of self-confidence. She was afraid of every new thing. If she couldn't be the best, she kind of didn't want to try it. Every once in a while, she would step out of her comfort zone and try, but then if she couldn't do it, she might walk away, decide not to be part of it, or even cry and complain, make excuses for why she wasn't able to do it or didn't want to do it. She was different. When I looked at the entire group, I realized all of them have an amount of self-confidence, but she only has it in one thing, not in anything else. If a person truly is a confident person, then they'll be willing to step out of their comfort zone and try new things. They don't have to be perfect at something before they ever even try. So I would say that even though she was good at her one sport and confident in her one sport, I would not consider her to be a truly confident person. When I saw the breakdowns that this girl had, I wondered, why doesn't she know how to solve her own problems? When things seem hard, or when it's a challenge that she hasn't met before, why does she shut down instead of step up? I wondered, has someone pulled her along her whole life, just indulging these types of breakdowns again and again, and never giving her the skills that she needs to really conquer these things? Or to really feel confident even if she hasn't been in a situation before? It could be that her life was never hard, that only these recent challenges have seemed hard, but before that, nothing was hard. People that never get the opportunity to do hard things often have low self-confidence and increased anxiety. I wondered, did her parents overprotect her? Or did they under-teach her? Or was it a combination of both? This girl clearly did not know how to solve her own problems. Even when something was shown to be safe by all the other athletes and the trainers, she still was resistant to try. If people don't possess the skills and the experience that they need for how to solve their problems, they often shut down. And that's what this poor girl did. She was darling, sweet personality, cute girl, really great at her sport, but she would shut down a lot. The 3 vital elements for helping children develop self-confidence are, number 1, having a tone that instills confidence. That means the parents have a "you can do it" kind of an attitude with their child. You can do this, I know you're having a hard time with it, just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. They don't accept the excuses. They don't accept the emotions as a sign that there's something wrong. No, they say, that's an emotion, let's move on. It's okay. And the parents take that same tone with everything they do. With their own parenting, they say, well, I'm not perfect at this, but this is the direction I'm going, and so this is what we're going to do. And the children become fearless because their parents are fearless. It's a tone in the home culture that then is extended outside the home culture into all of the other things that they try in their lives, whether it's school or activities or employment. The second vital element for developing self-confidence is learning the skills for success that you need. There are some basic skills that people don't know. For instance, let's say you apply for a job and you don't get the job. That's called a no answer. Are you able to take that? Or are you going to wallow? Are you going to pout and struggle and sit in your room and sulk for a couple of months before you get the courage to do it again? Hopefully you can accept a no answer and move on. To accept a no answer, there's 4 steps that we teach children. You look at the person, you keep a calm face, voice, and body, you say okay, or you ask to disagree appropriately, and then you drop the subject. A person that's going to pout in their room is not keeping a calm face, voice, and body, and definitely isn't dropping the subject. The 4 basic skills that we teach, which are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately, actually help a child solve almost all, 99% of all of their problems. It helps them also choose their behaviors instead of fall into emotional traps that usually are from fear and anxiety. I have other videos on this channel that go into more detail about those 4 basic skills and how to correct behavioral problems. So make sure you're a subscriber so you don't miss those. Vital element number 3 for developing confidence. Work, work, and more work. When a person does not know how to work and get something done, then usually they lack confidence. When we did the BBC program, The World's Strictest Parents, there were 2 troubled teens that came to our home. They were both 17 years old, and they both did not know how to work. At first, I taught them how to harvest things out of my yard. Super simple. Pull that onion out of the ground. And I remember when they pulled it out of the ground, they were like, ew, it's so dirty. Oh, yuck. And they were not happy with the process of just pulling one thing out of the ground that would potentially be their dinner. But as the week went on and we taught them how to do chores and work alongside us, then when they earned extra chores, they would come to me and say, come here, Nicolene, come see what I did. I cleaned this whole bathroom. It looks so great. My mama's going to die. I am going to do this when I get home back to England. That's called confidence. We taught them how to do a job. They did a job. They showed me the job. I praised them for the job. They knew they could do something and they wanted to show it to the next person. That's called confidence. Hopefully your children develop that type of confidence when they're young. Some parents resist giving their children adult chores and responsibilities. Don't do that. It cripples their confidence. It's not going to help them. I remember one time we had a friend of one of my children over for dinner. And I asked the children if they wanted to help me make dinner. And this friend said, okay, yeah, I guess. And everything I asked them to do, like chop a vegetable, by the way, this friend was 12, chop a vegetable or stir something on the stove or something like that. They said, oh, I can't do that. I can't be by the stove. It's too dangerous. I can't use knives. I haven't been taught how to use knives. And I thought, you're 12. By the time my children were 6, I was teaching them how to use a knife and proper safety for the knives. Now, maybe some people may think that's a little extreme, but by the time my children are in their teens, we're teaching them how to chop wood with an axe and how to repair sprinkling systems and piping in the house and how to put in a garden. In fact, they start putting in a garden with me as soon as they can walk. Work, work, and more work. Our society has too much ease and comfort. Parents want their children to have a good work ethic, but they don't actually work with their children that often. They recreate with their children instead, and if you don't work, you cripple them for their lives. They need their self-confidence. To develop it, you've got to work alongside them and give them their own responsibilities. Now that we've talked about developing self-confidence and work and how to get those children loving work, the video you should watch now is How to Make Someone Feel Understood.